So welcome. Welcome Zoomer and YouTubers. Welcome to this class, which we're going to experiment with various squats using gravity in a different way, three different ways, and we're also going to do pigeon in ways that are going to challenge you. So let's begin because you can tell it's the end of my day. It's quite dark outside. Let's begin by pivoting. Go close to your wall, pivoting on your butt and come into bringing your legs up the wall. Oh, I can hardly wait. It's only when you do this that you realize, oh yeah, I should have done this earlier. And bring your arms out, palms open to the ceiling. Whoo! Lift your head and reposition it and just start to get into your breath. You've come to the yoga class. You've decided to dedicate an hour for yourself. Yay! And just feel all the built up, good or bad tension leave your body. The end of the day, or maybe it's the beginning of your day, or the middle, but at any rate, we're getting rid of built up information. So the lowest rib, always trying to move. When we're in a yin class, this will help to release and soften and allow the joints to open up. So that's one of the things that we're working on, is allowing the body to find that space. We're going to start our first squat by against the wall with our backs on the floor. And I hope you have your sacrum on the floor. That's the bony part above your butt. And you're going to bend your knees and you're going to bring the soles of your feet onto your wall. I hope your feet are clean. And they're going to be wide so that there's some weight in the legs in terms of gravity. So it's almost like a happy baby, but you're being honest about the happy baby in that the wall is making you very, very even. And the knees, of course, going into lining up with second and third toe. And if this is too much, I hope that you're not already holding your legs up, but if it's too much, then hold your legs up. But feeling intensity here, that's a good thing. Feeling a little shaky, that's a good thing. We're going to hold this for a moment. Especially, I'm thinking that the design of this class is for those people who have been sitting all day and really need some movement deep in their hips, in a different way that kind of messes them up a little bit. Messes their hips up a little bit, not them. So notice that as we're here, I'm just noticing that my right leg just gave way a little bit, a few millimeters. Just notice that, if that's happening for you as well. And then walk your feet towards each other so that the knees come together, and just have a moment there. Soles of feet still on your wall. And then we're going to walk our feet over, it doesn't matter, left or right, whatever is safer for you in your room. And then you're going to push yourself up to seated with your fingertips bent to elbows and come to the top of your mat. Now we're going to use gravity in a different way. We're going to squat the top of our mat. Ooh, I can hardly wait. Now for those of you who like to squat against a wall because that feels more supportive and your feet are more supported that way, then go ahead. The other trick is to roll up your mat. If your heels are lifted, just support your heels with your rolled up mat. But if you don't need it, then don't do it. So what I'd like you to do here is just to feel your hips going down, and then you're going to take your right arm behind and your left arm in the middle, and you're going to just try to see if you can't manage. It's going to throw you off balance, but if you can't manage a little twist to the right leg. But you'll have to support yourself with your hands because otherwise you're going to go kerplunk back. So pull that belly in. Keep your throat nice and open. And then let's do the other side. So go slowly. Right hand in front, left hand behind. Trying to bring your chest over to your left leg. And you'll notice things are waking up. Yeah, that it is definitely waking up. Then you're going to bring your left hand forward, go slow, and then bring the palms of your hands together. And maybe you have to walk your feet. I am having to walk my feet out a little bit. Bring your hands together, thumbs touching your sternum, and press those legs. Now for some of you, using both the wall and a block, or blocks, or your bolster is going to be a lot better for you. So I'm just going to show. You just come close to your wall. Sit on your little stool. And this is just a nice thing to do because you can feel how your body relaxes into the pose then when you're leaning against the wall. And as your body relaxes a little bit more, you might even, ooh, my butt just went to the floor. You might even want to take the block away. So hands again, middle of your chest, and the elbows pushing those legs out. Woo! There's still things moving. And then if you are on your block, just carefully come back onto your mat. Ooh. Come into the middle of your mat. And then bring so we're going into a squat that's really seated, but it's wide, quite wide. Your feet are a lot wider than your mat. And you're going to try to do the same thing. Now you may want to be, once again, especially anybody who has knee problems, just support yourself on your bolster or your block so that you don't feel vulnerable. You don't feel that there's something bad going to happen. And you're the best person to know what to do with all your toys. You're going to take, again, your hands. We're going to hang here for a moment because there could be a lot of things moving. So notice how heavy your pelvis is when you sit here, and especially if you bring your torso right over and your head all over that, over your pelvis. Keep those arms. You can actually add a little bit if you want to exhaust those tendons that are hanging on for dear life at this point. If you want to exhaust them, you can take those legs and press them into your elbows or into the backs of your arms, whatever is touching the inside of your thighs. You can press them in so that there's equal and opposite movement here. Yeah. So pressing in, pushing out. Notice that things are starting to talk back. They're going, that seems to be a little bit too long. Why do we have to be here for this amount of time? Alrighty. So, release that. You're going to take your legs forward. Oh, they're hardly going to move. Bring the heels onto the floor. Dig the heels in. And go into a forward bend. So use your blocks to fill up the space between your chest and your legs. And you could even use the blocks or your bolster to just create a tower where you can lean your forehead on. I've decided just to use my blocks today just to show you that you can use them in the same way as a bolster. You could be seated, sitting on these. You could be doubled. If you don't need them, don't use them. So coming forward. I like to rock from left to right so that I can let the hips have a little bit of a moment, a little bit of an asymmetrical moment. And then just hang out here. Nice. Notice that you are feeling a response in your hamstrings from the work that we did in our hips, especially inner thighs. We're going to press through the palms of our hands. Use your fingertips to wake those up. So pigeon, the normal pigeon that we use, we're going to do the traditional one, and then we're going to do versions of it so that those of you who cannot do your regular pigeon because of your issues around your knees or your ankles or whatever, you will have options. So we'll start with the normal pigeon. So come into down dog. That's the best way that I enjoy getting into pigeon. I hope you enjoy it too. So we move into a down dog, and maybe you feel the response in your legs and your hips of the two versions of squats that we did. So bring the feet together so you look at them behind so they're touching. Then press through the left foot, bend the left knee, and then inhale, right leg goes up as high as you can. And then exhale, bring the right knee into your chest and curl your body forward. And then you're going to flex the right foot. You're going to put the edge of the right foot landed behind your left leg, in line with, no, your left leg, your left hand. Don't pay attention to me. And then move forward in your mat. You are all about the strength of the back leg and your hands. Now go slowly as you bring the outside of your right shin. And then don't kerplunk yet. Move that left foot back. And then put the outside of your right hip on the floor. Okay, and then shoelace side of the left foot. So that kind of anchors that. Now, take a look at that left leg back there, and if it's not in line with your left hip, then maybe you need to tuck your toes under and realign it and keep it there. Maybe you have a habit of letting it splay out. So you do you. And then come on down. Onto your forearms. I had to check my microphone. It fell out. I think it's good though. So we have our hands in front, breathing. Now roll that left hip forward. So it's as if in your sacrum area that it is even. It's parallel to the floor. Notice when you do that, when you roll your left hip down, pull your right hip back, you're getting deeper and deeper into that right hip. Flex your right foot. Bring your hands. So this is a traditional pigeon. Some people call it swan. There's variations, but you get the idea. It's the target into your hip. Your hands are right underneath your shoulders. You are going to have the power of your arms and the back leg. So lift the back knee off the floor. Bend your elbows so you get the idea. You're going to press the earth away. Bring your right knee into your chest and bend it so that it now can land into down dog gently. So you want to make sure that you don't twist your right knee. Bring your feet together. Press through the right foot, bend the right knee. Inhale, left leg goes up as high as you can go. Exhale, curl forward, bring your left knee into your chest. Come forward. Flex the left foot. Put the edge of the left foot first on the floor, but you're still up high. And then put the edge of your left lower leg on the floor. Don't rush. And then move that right leg back. And then put the edge of your left thigh on the floor. And then come on down. So here we are on this left hip. Check your right leg. Maybe you want to tuck that back toe under and press that back knee up so that you can feel that. Then maybe you drop your right thigh. You're on your forearms. Now this is where the subtle inside stuff occurs. Pull that left hip back. Roll that right hip towards the floor. You should really feel the detail of that. Flex your left foot, keep your left knee safe. If you're a person who can do pigeon without any issues around your knee, then try to keep doing it until your knees give out. Then you'll have alternatives, but boy, this pigeon sure can help with your knee health as well, because it keeps the bones in line. So it's one of those things, it's like, oh, sad, my knee hurts so much I can't do pigeon anymore. And then, you know, it's just one thing around another. All right, bring your hands right underneath your shoulders. As soon as we compensate for something we can't do, it just seems to exasperate that injury or that situation. So tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, bend your elbows, press the earth away, keep the outside edge of your left foot on the floor, and then bend that left knee and bring it, the leg into your chest, thigh into your chest, and then land the left foot back into down dog, and then feel. Nice. Then walking to the top of your mat, your feet are hip width apart. Grab your toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward bending. Chest and thigh can be together here. Pulling on your toes, fingers pulling on your toes, toes pulling on your fingers. Then lean back into your heels, lift your toes, bring your hands onto the top of your femurs, push them back. Nice. Inhale. Whoa, come on up. Whoa, feel that. Just take a moment to feel that. Woo. So this one, I like the support of the wall so that I can really relax. So you can have your butt against the wall to do this. You don't want to be too close. You want to have movement so that your butt can go up and down against the wall. Or you can just be beside the wall. So you're going to take your right knee, you're going to flex your right foot, and you're going to put the edge of your foot and the ankle on the outside of the left thigh. And then you're going to experiment with what will it take, and this is only if your knees don't hurt, what will it take to come down, lift the supporting foot's heel, and come down into a squatted pigeon. This is a complicated pose. You can press back, and then come onto your butt. Whoa, that's quite the transition. Hope you got there without hurting yourself. And now we're in this pigeon. So we went from standing pigeon to this kind of pigeon. And I would like you to press through the palms of your hands, lift your butt up. We've done this in other videos where we're swinging the weight of the legs forward and towards our chest. And we're swinging. Nice. And then when you get as close as possible, drop your butt. Try to sit up tall. Grab what you can grab and feel what you can feel in your right hip. We're going to transition from here to our backs. So take your time. So these are the, not the standing to
that more complicated one. But this is an example of a pigeon. If you cannot put weight traditionally on that knee, or it's not successful for you, you could be seated like this and work this pose by flexing that right foot and bringing your chest as close in as you can and letting things open up in that right hip. The next alternative, which I think is great because most people can feel things really differently in this one, is your back is on the floor. And we're just going to wait until that right femur kind of slides into its spot. And then we're going to go on to tippy toes of the left foot. So that's one thing. Now, the best thing to do before we do the next thing is to think of your bandhas. So Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jaladhara Bandha. I want you to feel like the whole front of your body, from your pelvic floor to your throat, is activated. Now we're going to float that left leg. Try not to use your hands here. Left, what am I trying to say? It's intense. Bring your left knee towards your chest with that right ankle crossed over. Try to use your muscles to do this as much as you can. And then when it doesn't move anymore, you can either thread your hands underneath your left thigh, interlock your fingers to the webbing, and continue. Or you could grab in front of your left knee. Whoa, I did that. Oh my goodness, that was a lot. And continue. And the other thing that happens is people, when they feel everything that's so intense, is you start to press the back of your head into your mat, and you grimace with your face. So please do not grimace with your face. You can, those of you who are a little more flexy, you still have your sacrum on the floor. You can bring your left leg up. You can grab the back of that left leg and start to bring those legs, that right leg, even closer by using your straight left leg and grabbing it and pulling it. So you could imagine that this is like an upside down pigeon, standing pigeon, but you're using gravity in an entirely different way. Bend your left knee, left foot on the floor. Whoa. I'll push the right leg with your hand towards the front of your mat, just so that it can relax a little bit. And then soften your belly. Soften your belly. I'm pretty sure that yoga is the only place where people say soften your belly and you go, oh yeah, thank God I can soften my belly now. Come up onto your elbows. You still have that leg crossed. I'd like you to extend the left leg. And now we're going to go into, it's almost like cowhead, but not really. So we still have this shin bone parallel to the front, and we're just going to come forward. Keep your right foot active, keep your left foot active. Just finding some more spaces in the back of that right hip. Yeah, that's super great. And then come on up. Now, without using your hands, so we want all those little muscles in our hip sockets, everything that's keeping that together, we want those to pay attention and wake up. So lift your leg from deep in your hips, and obviously your abs are helping too, and extend your right leg. And then feel. If you can sit up tall without pushing your hands into the floor, then try to do that. Or don't, and try not to push anything with your upper body. Just try to let the body talk to the space in the hip. Bend your knees, come to the top of the mat. Let's see if we can't start with a standing pigeon. Use the wall in any way that works for you. I know that this side is problematic for me, so I'm definitely going to use the wall. So you're going to bend your left knee, flex the foot first, bring it onto the outside of the right leg. Now, you can bend down. I find touching the mat just makes me feel better. And then you could lift that heel, the right heel, and maybe you can come down. So doing this with the support of the wall and the floor, as opposed to having the traditional ways to have your arms straight out or at your chest, that can be really kind of a vulnerable position. And we want you to be happy in yoga, not to feel vulnerable. So sitting back on that heel, whoa, kerplunk. If you're against the wall, it's nice to sit against the wall. So front knee, this right knee is safely bent. The other knee is, the left foot is flexed. Oh, that's feeling really good actually. Why didn't I do this on the other side? It just feels like it's like you can relax into it, and then the hips can do their work opening up without all of the rest of the body hanging on. I advise this better than the other one that I showed you, but you do you. Okay, so I'm going to crawl onto my mat, get myself organized in line, bring the hands behind the hips, lift the hips up and start rocking the legs towards and away. Nice. And then when you get really, really close, drop your pelvis. Hug again. Oh, that feels good. Good hug again. And then you're going to come back onto your elbows. You're going to take a moment. Then you're going to come totally onto your back. So these are the alternatives for pigeon for people. Not the standing one and we bent down. That's really complicated for anybody with a knee issue. But these ones where we're seated and the leg is crossed over the thigh and the foot is flexed, either seated or lying down like we're doing now, are really great ones to do. Okay, so we wait. And then we get on the right tippy toes. And I'd like you to challenge yourself to not use your hands to do this next thing. So feeling the sacrum is on the floor, I want you to bring your legs as close into your chest with your muscles as you possibly can. Lift your head, reposition it. Always do that. That just gives a reminder to stop the tension moving up into your traps, into your neck, into your face. Now, when your legs can't go any further, you can either thread your left arm underneath your left calf and interlock your fingers to the webbing and bring the hands behind your right thigh and continue, or bring your hands on top just below of your right knee and continue. Now, if you want to make it very interesting, as much as you're pulling with your arms, push away. Oh my goodness, that is the good target. If you push away and you pull, you are getting the short tendons that you didn't know needed a little bit more space. A little bit further. Those of you who would like to try, bring your right leg up, flex your right foot, flex your left foot, keep your sacrum on the floor, and pull the right leg towards you, but then push. So you can always make a pose that's super familiar by changing up very subtle things like pushing or bond is engaged or actually breathing. Bend your right knee. Right foot comes on the floor. Oh, and then push your left leg, kind of the left flesh, the knee, the inside of the left knee. Push that away with your left hand. And just feel that. And then come up onto your elbows and then onto your hands. And I meant to do this on the other side, but now we're going to do it on both sides, so that's okay. We're going to rock from side to side, massaging. I always pick up when I've forgotten something, a left side or right side. When we have people who are live in the room, they always remind me, oh, you forgot that side, Paula. And so I'm looking forward to live people in the room that will help help with all of this to remind me. So we're just rocking from side to side. That's great. And then bring your left knee into your chest and land your left foot. And we're going to do that rocking thing on the other side. So right knee into chest, flex your right foot, bring it around to the other outside of your left thigh, and rock. Ooh, that feels good. It's almost like you're doing a pigeon with a twist, kind of. It's really quite excellent. And especially if you do have the movement. Nice. And then right foot comes on the floor. Let's do a forward bend, because when we do this work, these squats and these versions of pigeon, it really, really changes our forward bend. So I'd like for you to enter your forward bend in a different way today. So you can take your ankles or the sides of your foot, whatever works for you, and we're just going to actually paste our chest onto our thighs, and we're going to move one buttock at a time. Now this sometimes causes clothing malfunctions. I hope that your pants aren't being pulled off by this, but you're just rocking from side to side. It's just a clever way of moving the pelvic floor and the pelvis back, and then there you are in your deepest forward bend that you have done in this sequence tonight or this morning or whenever you're doing it. So enjoy this forward bend. Use your blocks if you'd like. If your forward bend isn't as flexy, don't worry about it. Just fill in the blocks so that you can really relax into it so that it's nice for you. We have one more squat to do. So we did the squat with our backs on the floor and our feet against the wall. We did the squat, just the regular squat, that's the normal squat. And now we're going to do a squat where our back is also neutral, but we're going to have a little bit more movement. So just get yourself in the middle of your mat and come down onto your forearms first. Ooh. Whew. Extend your left leg. And then come all the way down. We're going to do half dead bug. So I'd like you to bend your right knee and bring the thigh over. You should have a little bit more mobility today with this. Bring your right leg over towards the right side of your body. So you're aiming the leg, right leg is 90 degrees. You're aiming the thigh to the floor. And try to make sure your ankle is in line with your kneecap. Okay, there we go. That's better. Dig the left heel in. Grab with those hands either the back of your thigh, your ankle, calf, or the sides of your foot. Now, there's another little part. You can make this a little more interesting. As much as you're pulling down with your arms, you're pushing into the ceiling. You're pushing the palm, the sole of your foot into the ceiling. But it's really the palms of your hands. Now bend your left knee, left foot close to your left buttock, and go a little deeper. So you'll see now that you've made your left hip a little heavy, even though, you know, it's not even, your hips aren't even at this point. You can bring your right thigh a little closer to the floor. Mine just went there. Now we're not finished yet. We're going to extend that left leg. So that's not good. I mean, that's more intense. Keep that energy of the foot pushing towards the ceiling and you pulling it down towards the floor. Nice. Extend your right leg to the ceiling. Rotate the foot in one direction and then the other direction. Extend that leg, the whole right leg to the ceiling. Close your eyes. On an inhale, point your foot like a ballerina. On an exhale, flex the foot. And you're going to arc the leg with your eyes closed, inhaling, pointing and flexing all the way down, trying to anticipate the floor, inhaling, pointing, exhale, flexing, inhale, pointing, exhale, flexing, inhale, pointing. And unbeknownst to you, I moved the floor today and I dropped it about 6 inches below the floor on the left foot. And so when you come down there, you get that feeling of a surprise of where the floor is, and then relax the entire right leg. Woo! Let the right hip flexor relax, let the thighs relax. Dig your right heel in. Bend your left knee, bring that left leg so it's 90 degrees and it's angled out to the left. Take your hands up there, bent elbows, matador arms. So this is really a squat, really, but with activity, because we're using our arms and we're pressing the foot to the ceiling, but we're pulling the leg down. Bend your right knee, right foot close to your right buttock, and then bring that leg, the left thigh, a little bit closer to the floor. Push that foot towards the palms of your hands, but pull it back down. So equal and opposites. Arms are working. Extend your right leg. Oh, that's not better. Dig your right heel in. Spread your left toes. Feel everything. Wow. Nice. Release that left leg to the ceiling, but slowly. Hang on to the calf muscle. Rotate the foot. Relax it. Now, bring your arms on the floor. Scarecrow style. Dig your right heel in. You're going to close your eyes and you're going to flex. You're going to point on an inhale. Whoop, flex on an exhale. Point. I got a little cramp. Exhale. Point. And you're going to arc that leg. Keep pulling that right heel that's on the mat. Keep pulling it or pushing it towards the floor. So inhaling, point, exhale, flex. You're arcing. You're moving the leg through the air, through space, trying to anticipate. Where did she put that floor? Why is it so below the other one? What is happening? Oh. And then finally, when you get down, I still can't anticipate it. Woo! You just relax the whole left leg, the whole right leg, everything. Nice. So the final version of a squat, there are so many, but this final version, using gravity in a different way, is happy baby. So again, you're going to bend your knees, you're going to grab the outsides of your feet, and you have freedom now to be very organic and move around like a happy baby into your sacrum. You can extend your legs, you can bring them closer, you can bring them out. Just do the movement that feels good. So, nothing organized. Nothing organized. Wow, that's what a baby would do. They would just go to where they would feel that they needed a release. They do yoga all day long. In fact, I think it would be very hard to keep up with all the yoga that a baby would do. Yeah. And then extend your legs right to the ceiling. Arms coming out, scarecrow style. Now find the place with the legs straight that is the easiest place to hold them up there. Roots of toes together. Nice. Bend your knees. Soles of feet on floor, and just take a moment. You're going to take your elbows alongside your rib cage, roll over to one side, push yourself up. We're going to windshield wiper our way, but we're going to move. What do we call this? Crab walk before we do our shavasana. So come to the back of your mat. Have your legs wide for this. If you want to have your arms out as scarecrow, or have cross your arms and grab your shoulders, I forgot my words, it's so intense, then you do what makes sense for you. If you need the support of your hands on the floor in order to do this movement of moving your whole body over to the right, flexing your feet, inhale, come up, exhale. If you need your hands to help you move forward, because that's the way that forward is going to happen, then you go ahead and do that. But just see if you can walk a little bit, even if it's just a few millimeters, centimeters, inches, whatever. When you bring your chest over, you are going to be successful moving one hip in front of the other, which is really what you're doing. Come all the way to the top. Yeah, nice. It's kind of fun being childlike. We don't get permission to do that much in our day. Thank God we can come to the mat and play. Come to the top. So feet hip width apart, bring your arms up. Tuck the tail. Pull everything into the center. Roll down. Get your technology, because we're going to get ready to do the shavasana thing. So come on down. Oh, and then finally you have your back down. You've come down slowly. Get whatever shavasana music that you enjoy. Get your blankies. Get your situation nice and cozy. You could even pause this video and use a shavasana song or no music and rest for as long as your body needs a rest. And given permission to do this, you might have the best 20-minute rest that will just sustain you for the rest of your day, or maybe help you get to sleep tonight. So before we go into the deepest part of our shavasana, I'd like you to take an inhale and hold it. Relax your eyebrows and your forehead. And then when you exhale, let everything go. Use this time, very precious time that we have, to make your body more puddly, to spread out more, to sink more into your mat. Check your face, that it's as relaxed and soft as possible. And use this whole time for yourself to 100% let go. taking a big inhale. Come back into your room. Begin wiggling your fingers and your toes. Then take another inhale, and then on an exhale, bring your legs together. And if you have room, bring your arm bones overhead. Interlock your fingers to the webbing, release the index fingers. Gently point your toes away from your fingers. Let's practice a breath retention. Take a big inhale. Hold it. Relax your forehead, your eyebrows, your skin. Sip up a little more air. Hold it. And then when you exhale, sigh, groan, or moan. Let everything go. Bring one knee and the other knee into your chest. Keep your eyes closed if you can. And then if it's in your practice to curl yourself up into a tight little ball by bringing your forehead towards your knees or your chin, go ahead and do that. Flex your toes towards your shins. Take an inhale so you feel your back body rise. When you exhale, soften your belly and bring your legs closer. Allow your head to come back down to the ground. Relax your trap muscles, your throat and your neck. Take an inhale. And exhale to whatever side works for you in your room. And you can use your arm as a pillow or keep your knees bent or your block. Begin easy breathing so you feel your rib cage. Move with your breath. And then notice your calmer, stronger, more peaceful body sinking into the floor. And your calmer, stronger, more peaceful mind. And notice all the details. The temperature of your room, the sound of your breath, the sound of the music, how your clothing feels on your skin, all the details. Make this a memory that you can come to when you need it the most. Keep your knees bent. Use bent elbows, fingertips if you'd like. Push yourself up to seated so that we can do a grounding breath together. Cross your legs. If you need to be on a block, go ahead and do that. Rub your legs awake. Feel your nervous system wake up. Bring your hands into the middle of your chest and now separate them just enough so that you become intensely, concentrate on it, intensely aware of the heat of the right hand to the left and the left to the right. See if you can feel that. And bring them together again. Thumbs touching the sternum. Take an inhale. Cool air. Hold it in your body. Imagine it swirling around and picking up heat. And then bow your brain, humble your brain towards your heart as you exhale the warm air past your fingertips. This is the perfect moment to practice gratitude. Thank you so much, YouTubers and Zoomers, for taking the time for yourself on your mat and therefore sending good vibes to every other person in your life with this fantastic feeling that we created together. Namaste.